Best advice I could give any man who's depressed and going through depression and anxiety. First tip is to put your hand up and get help if you need help, because often we can't do it all on our own. So help could mean speaking to your parents, speaking to a friend, getting professional help, or if you feel that you don't need professional help, getting a confidence coach like myself, having a couple of calls over Zoom, creating a strategy, a plan of action, some goals, changing lifestyle. Second of all, if you're able to motivate yourself through my videos or the videos of other people or music or however you do it, move forward whilst you're depressed. What I learned through my depressions was the best thing, the only thing that helped me was moving forward whilst I was depressed, because as I moved forward and as you move forward, you unstuck yourself and then you're not depressed anymore. You find joy, happiness, strength, confidence, all the things that you want to feel and all the things you want to experience, and often the things that you want to get out and say and the things that you want to achieve, both externally and internally, you start doing those things. So it's a lot of courage. It doesn't make logical, intellectual sense, because human nature is to not do things when we feel bad. It's easier to do things when we feel good, but the danger of that is you could be depressed for 20 years then, and it will only get worse. So I've learned from my own experiences dealing with mental health, anxiety, depression, I must find strength within me, even to take small steps. Like I say in my video, success doesn't always mean being a superstar on Instagram or money or this or that. Success is about the little things that you do that are difficult. It doesn't matter what others think, it's what's important to you. So you've got to focus on you, focus on the little things that you can do. So everyone's difficult is different. So for some people, leaving the house is easy. It's not a problem at all. But for someone who's depressed and going through anxiety, leaving the house is like climbing Mount Everest. So if you can get yourself to put some clothes on, take a shower, put some music on, clean your apartment, organize some things, get a feeling of a feel-good factor, go out for a short walk, go to Tesco's, get some bread and milk, come back, go for a walk in the park or the city or wherever you can. That's huge success. We can build on that, because we often think about, well, I'm here now in my life, I don't like where I am, I don't like how I feel, and I need to get all the way over there in one go. It doesn't work like that. That just creates impatience, anxiety, it creates self-hatred, self-judging, frustration, anger, resentment, all that, one step at a time. You never realize how much better you're going to feel until you go from A to B. So you leave the house and you think, you know what, that was difficult, but I feel better now I've done that. And then you build on that, because that's what I've done. If you know my story, I was depressed at home, isolated, afraid to interact, afraid of business, money, relationships, goals, training, scared of everything, scared to death. And I found it hard to come out the house. I'd only come out the house quickly and go back in and have panic attacks every morning. I listened to a message from a man called Les Brown, and he told his story in detail, and he said a couple of words that triggered me and inspired me out of my darkness and despair. And he said, you will fail your way to success. It's okay that you've gone through these difficult things in your life and that you're depressed right now. You can overcome that. Anyone can with the right mindset. It doesn't matter who you are, what you've come from, where you was. It's not about who you are, where you was in the negative things you've gone through. It's about where you're going and who you're becoming. When I heard that, I didn't just hear it intellectually, I heard it with my own heart. And when he said your failure to success, I thought, well, my whole life I've been a failure, but I haven't really pushed because I'm afraid of failing more. So if I take this man's advice, and I believe I could tell he's telling the truth, I can't really lose then, can I? The only way I can fail is if I don't try and I stay at home. And it's true, a long time ago, a Christian friend said to me, the devil and the demons and negative thoughts get you in isolation. Everybody's vulnerable when they're isolated. We're not meant to be alone forever. It's okay for periods of time to leave the house. And that's what I did. I built on it. I built on Les Brown's advice. And I never realized that first step to me leaving my house was the step to transforming my life in every single area. Financially, mentally, emotionally, I built a successful business from scratch. I had no qualifications. I failed at school, according to the school system. I was put down. I had no business background. Parents are not entrepreneurs. I had no savings, no investments, no mentors, no books. But I heard Les Brown. I heard his words. I followed my intuition. I exercised my courage, and through each step I took, I got stronger and stronger. Sometimes I broke down, so I went 4 steps backwards, and then I went 10 steps forward, and I just kept facing my fears and showing up. And then eventually I hit a point where the depression went, and I started to experience what you would call euphoria. And then I went on to do public speaking. I went on dates. I got a girlfriend. I made a full-time income. I quit my original office job that I didn't enjoy. I started coaching people from all around the world, meeting people, doing talks, doing programs, making YouTube videos, going on interview shows. You know, my whole life changed. I moved apartment. I changed my social circle. I made new positive friends. I just kept growing and growing and growing. And eventually I stopped to have a break, and I went, I can't believe it. I got to a point, and I want you to get here. I was so happy. This is a private thing I've never shared, that there were times I would cry on my own, and it was tears of joy, because I thought I was going to be a loser for the rest of my life and always be anxious and in that darkness. I was overwhelmed in a good way. I had so much love in my life, and I transformed. I changed the way that I saw myself, and I changed the way that we used to be paranoid and insecure in regards to the way that I thought people viewed me. So that was the power of taking the first step. You never realize that the first step can lead to the 59th step or 60th step or 100th step. So it's all about taking that first step, building on that habit. And the habit is always about taking action. Unfortunately, in my experience, reading books alone is not enough. It's good if you can read a book and get inspired, but you have to take the action, and you've got to keep putting the effort in. Then people show up and they help you, and then you can get to a point where you're strong enough to help yourself, and then you're in a good place. All right, hope that helps. Fearless.